Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the pregame report between the Edmonton Oilers and the Seattle Kraken. Yes, Connor McDavid is back in the lineup. And yes, the whole room that you're looking at right now is a little bit different, a little bit more ambient. Got that nice deep purple, got those LEDs going. Just decided to change things up in the background of my little office, my little studio that I make these videos in. So if you think this looks all right, make sure to hit that like button. And if you end up really enjoying this video and you're not yet subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button as we continue to build an amazing community here on YouTube. We are nearing 4,500 subscribers, and I cannot wait to hit that milestone. As I mentioned, Connor McDavid is back in the lineup after serving his 3-game suspension, and the Oilers went 2-1-0 in his absence. They absolutely could have won all 3 games if it were not for the heroics of Logan Thompson in net for the Washington Capitals last week, but that doesn't matter. I think Connor McDavid, he's going to be shot out of a cannon, and he is going to be ready to go, and I expect him to have a massive game against the Seattle Kraken squad that is kind of hanging around the wild card picture in the Western Conference, but they are not having the season that they were expecting to have, and this team is kind of being held together by Joey Daccord in net for the Kraken. Their advanced metrics are really poor. They don't have a lot of players that can put the puck in the net. And overall, for Seattle, this is still a building year. Yes, they made the playoffs in year 2, which looks like kind of an outlier. They're still trying to build for their future. They're building for now, but they're also building for the future. They look to be sellers at the trade deadline once again. So we'll see how the Oilers fare off against them after just coming off a victory against the Buffalo Sabres, where Buffalo, well, they gave Edmonton everything they could handle. So let's take a look at the projected lineup. This is not an official lineup, by the way. This is just my own projections. This is what I would do as a fan. That's why I'm not a head coach, because sometimes the fan suggestions are not always very good. But with Connor McDavid back in the lineup, I expect Nugent Hopkins to go right back with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. That is a great first line. They control the play. They do score goals, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Chris Knoblauch at least starts with once this game gets going. I expect McDavid, like I said, he'll be shot right out of a cannon. He'll be ready to go. He'll be roaring, and I expect a couple points from him. For the second line, we'll go Vasily Podkolzin with Leon Draisaitl and Victor Arvidsson. Now, I would say Victor Arvidsson is struggling a little bit as of late. He hasn't looked as strong as he has in the past couple of weeks. I'm not sure if that's just a him thing. I don't know if he's dealing with something, but they're going to need his game to ratchet up here real soon if they want to have success. Of course, Podkolzin and Draisaitl remain really strong players. Leon Draisaitl had a open net against the Buffalo Sabres to extend his home point streak, and he was unable to hit that open net. He ended up hitting the outside of the post from about 45 feet out. The Edmonton Oilers, they are allergic to the empty net. I saw someone post in the comments section the other day. It was really funny that the other team, halfway through the third period, they should just pull their goalie, because no matter what, the Oilers are not going to be able to score on it. So you might as well just have the advantage throughout the third if you're down a goal, which I thought was funny and also sadly a little accurate. On the third line, I would project Jeff Skinner with Adam Henrique and Connor Brown. Now, Jeff Skinner's game, it's been a lot better. I really like his game. I'm really concerned that they're going to healthy scratch him now with McDavid back in the lineup, but he would not deserve the healthy scratch in my opinion. Jeff Skinner has played solid hockey in the absence of McDavid. He did score against his former team, the Buffalo Sabres, and I thought he was very effective on the forecheck. Not amazing in the defensive zone, but a lot of times when he was on the ice, they weren't defending much. Their defense was on offense, and that's really good to see. Adam Henrique and Connor Brown, I think, would round out a really good third line if you were to play them together, but we'll see what Chris Knoblauch has up his sleeve. Fourth line, I'd go Corey Perry, Noah Philp, and Kasperi Kapanen. I've liked Kapanen's game a lot lately. Noah Philp, not great on the faceoffs right now. Hasn't been getting a lot of ice time. They did try and utilize him on the penalty kill. He lost, I think, 3 straight draws on that one kill against the Sabres. And then Buffalo ended up with about 8 or 9 shots before finally scoring as the penalty kill ended. For Noah Philp, growing pains that you got to learn how to win faceoffs at the NHL level, but it's nice that Chris Knoblauch was giving him that opportunity. We'll see if he ends up being the healthy scratch or not tonight. Corey Perry, of course, has had a great year. He's up to 16 points on the season, and he can bump up and down the lineup. Do not expect Corey Perry to be a healthy scratch. If it were up to me as a fan here, I would healthy scratch Matthias Janmark. No offense to Janmark, who is a solid penalty killer. He only has 1 goal on the season, and yes, there is more to the game of hockey than scoring goals, but he's also not doing a whole lot on offense. He's not doing a whole lot on defense, and if the only thing you can do is penalty kill, I would like to have someone else in the lineup that is a bit more effective at 5-on-5 and might be more of a threat to score some goals. The Oilers' bottom six in general, they can produce. They just need a little bit more oomph in their game. Matthias Janmark sadly has not even scored against a goaltender this season. I'm pretty sure his only goal came a couple weeks into the year. It was into an empty net. I don't even remember who Edmonton was playing. But for Matthias Janmark, he's one of those players. He works his tail off. The coaches love him. His teammates love him. But if Jeff Skinner is being healthy scratched throughout the season for playing far better, in my opinion, than Janmark some days, I think it would be Janmark's turn. That's up to me, though. What do you think? Who do you think should be the healthy scratch? This is a good problem to have if you're an Oilers fan and if you're the Oilers organization. It's clear that they have a lot of really solid forwards, so we'll see what the decision-making comes to tonight at Puck Drop. On defense, I am projecting Matthias Ekholm to play with Evan Bouchard. Now, Evan Bouchard, this is interesting. He could be in the running to be named to Canada's Four Nations roster with Alex Pietrangelo pulling himself out. I did make a video on potential candidates to replace Alex Pietrangelo at the Four Nations for Team Canada. If you missed that video, I will leave a link to it in the description below. On the second pair, Nurse with Troy Stecher, and then Kulak with Ty Emberson. Now, Ty Emberson, in my opinion, is putting together a real solid season. It seems like every single game he's becoming a little bit more engaged on offense. He is starting to find the score sheet a little bit more often, and that's really good to see. Ty Emberson has been a real solid addition to this Edmonton D core, and moving forward, that's going to make tough decisions when it comes to the trade deadline. Who the heck are you going to add? Who can you take out of this lineup? Because for the most part, this D core does play well together. I still think you need an upgrade. I think you need an upgrade where Troy Stecher is right now on the screen. I think if you have Nurse and then you pencil in a bona fide second pair D-man to play with Nurse, that would be optimal for the trade deadline. Emberson should stay on the third pair with Kulak. And then, of course, they do have John Klingberg, who's the 7th D right now. I don't expect him to get into the lineup, although I could be, surprised. There could be a big surprise up Chris Knobloch's sleeve, but I do expect Klingberg to get into a couple more practices and then play sometime later this week, maybe even by the weekend against the Toronto Maple Leafs, his former team. In goal, Stuart Skinner likely gets the start, although keep an eye out. You might see Calvin Picker get in there. Stuart Skinner, coming off a 39 save performance against the Buffalo Sabres, was named the #1 star, and he had, I think, over 3 goals saved above expected. The Oilers, they need to get the first goal. They need to take Seattle out of it as early as possible and not allow them to get into their defensive game. Now, in saying that, let's get into the pregame stats, numbers, and predictions. Let me know your player to watch, and let me know your score prediction down in the comments section below. The Seattle Kraken, this season, they are 22-25-3. They are 5-5-0 in their last 10 games. Their expected goals for is a paltry 44.67%, which ranks 29th in the NHL. Their power play, not much better, ranks 24th at 18.8%. Penalty kill, doesn't rank better either, 76.8%, which ranks 22nd. Goals for per game ranks 18th at 2.92. Their goals against per game ranks 22nd, 3.12. Their Corsi for percentage is 47%, not 57%. That would be first place in the NHL, I believe. 47.00%, which ranks 29th in the NHL, and their shots for percentage ranks 28th, 47.45%. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, the Seattle Kraken, when they win hockey games, a lot of it comes down to Joey Daccord and sometimes timely scoring. Right now for Seattle, they're not getting scoring enough, and if you're only relying on your goaltender, it's really tough to win hockey games, especially in the NHL, hardest league out there. For the Edmonton Oilers, if they can get on Seattle super early and break their spirits, I think they have a terrific chance to win this hockey game. In fact, they should win this hockey game. The Oilers, on the other side, they're 31-15-3. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. Their expected goals for at 5-on-5 ranks second in the league at 55.34%. They have the 7th best power play, 24.6%. Their penalty kill ranks 23rd at 76.6%. Goals for per game ranks 6th, 3.31. Goals against per game ranks 7th at 2.71. Corsi for ranks 3rd in the league, 54.004%, and their shots for percentage ranks 2nd in the NHL, 54.93%. When it comes to my players to watch, I'm going to go with the former Oiler Adam Larsson for the Seattle Kraken coming back to Edmonton. He always seems to play his best against the Oilers. Look for him to try and shut down Connor McDavid tonight. But for the Oilers, with McDavid coming back from his suspension, he is obviously my player to watch. And my score prediction, big drum roll, I'm going to say 5-3 Oilers tonight. I think the Oilers are going to come out flying. I think they're going to get a couple goals early. I think Seattle's going to battle back, but at the end of the day, Edmonton's going to come out on top. At least they should come out on top. No disrespect to Seattle here. This is a game where, if you're the Edmonton Oilers, you were a little shaky against Buffalo. You've got to really hone in your play and play much better and defeat a team below you in the standings and continue to climb and get back into first in the Pacific, because Vegas, they won last night, which means they're back into first. The Oilers, them in Vegas right now, they're going to be in a little bit of a battle here, and I want the Oilers to continue to win. I want them to hold on to first place in the Pacific Division, give themselves the best chance at home ice advantage as long as possible throughout the postseason. That is it from me. That is my pregame report between the Oilers and the Seattle Kraken. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And like I mentioned, if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you really liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We continue to build an amazing community here. I appreciate everyone's feedback and support all the time. If I do have time, I will do a live stream tonight. I cannot guarantee it though. So if you end up seeing me live tonight, that's awesome. If not, I will still have a post-game fan reaction. Thank you all so much for watching. Please tell someone you love them. And as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you soon.